What's good, everybody? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Jump. Netflix, which is a great company. We all have a membership. It is the #1 digital streaming platform, even better than YouTube as far as revenue is concerned. They have allowed many people to give comedy specials, but no one does it on the level of Dave Chappelle. He's even won Emmy Awards for his stand-ups, and The Closer was also a classic. And of course, Dave Chappelle, who was not afraid of anybody, took direct gripes with the LGBT and trans community. And in so many words, what he said was, the LGBT community can say what they want to say about other people, and no one can say anything about them. And, and pretty much that if an African American does something, and is killed or kills somebody, it's okay. If he disagrees with the LGBT community, even a little bit, it's just, really a lot of outlash and, a lot of drama behind it. So co-CEO Ted Sarandos, who's been very instrumental in Netflix, didn't feel that it went overboard, okay? He felt that it was just a point of view, all right? And he's a billionaire, and he's doing a good job with that company, but hey, it's a point of view. This is what happens. I don't think that it's, really so bad. But see, it doesn't matter how he felt. Right? What happened is it matters how other people felt. In the trans community, and we know how they were going to kind of react to that, they were not happy. So much so that you had some trans people are in the community. What they did was they crashed a meeting, all right? A meeting that was only for the top people in the organization, and they were suspended, right? They were suspended. Now, it was a big uproar about that. Now, they said they didn't know that meeting was, only for directors and whoever else. I think that's a lie, because they probably have these sort of meetings all the time, and they have never showed up then, all right? The reality is that those employees came to that meeting because they felt that they could, right? In other words, in my personal opinion, because of who, what community they're from, they felt like, hey, well, this includes me. I deserve to have a right. I'm entitled to be here. And then when they got suspended, it was more uproar. Okay? So after that, what we saw happening is there's a walkout that's going to be planned on October 20th. All right. And, I just kind of want to say this. What are we telling people with the unvaccinated situation? Which, in my opinion, personally, and I understand that everybody has rights in America. What Dave Chappelle said on that comedy special, in my personal opinion, it didn't degrade one's sexuality. It didn't degrade a person. It didn't dehumanize anybody. Okay? And there's more uproar, or very similar uproar over his stand-up special than you have people who are unvaccinated. Let's take people like, Kyrie Irving right now. Kyrie Irving is literally getting killed in the public media. Now, I think Kyrie Irving's terrible for a locker room. That's the reason why I would trade him. But because he doesn't want to be vaccinated, which is his, complete right, people are really coming for him. You would think that he had said something bad about blacks, or bad about women, or bad about the trans community. You would think that's what he did, but he didn't. He's just, doesn't want to get vaccinated because it's his body and it's his choice, right? But what are we telling Kyrie Irving? We're telling Kyrie Irving that, hey, if you don't want to be vaccinated, don't play. Kyrie Irving is completely okay with that. What are we seeing here, though? In the sense of these trans employees, and let's just be honest, the gay community is divided in this. There are gay comedians who stand with Dave Chappelle and his right to do comedy. All right, not all gay people or all LGBT people are the same. There's LGBT people that are YouTube. There's trans that are at Amazon. They are Democrat. They are Republican. They are Christian. They are atheist. Okay, so everybody in the gay community does not have the same thought process. I even knew gay people, or knew of gay people that had the positions when I was reading about these things online. That you had gays that were making videos on public platforms such as YouTube. They were in open debates that gays should not get married. These were people in the gay community. So clearly, all of them don't feel a certain way. The ones that are against Dave Chappelle have that mindset. There are people in the gay community that don't even care about what Dave Chappelle said. They could care less. Some of them, I'm pretty sure, right? So what are we telling Kyrie Irving that if he doesn't want to play or get vaccinated, don't play? Okay, right? But the trans community can schedule a walkout because they don't agree with their co-CEO's decision, who says, hey, this particular stand-up, it caused a lot of uproar. It's making money for the company that you work for. Netflix stock, I think, is something like $500 or $600 a share. It did really good, right? Like even during COVID, Netflix stock was going crazy. So Dave Chappelle is bringing the company money. So he's looking at it as a CEO that, hey, this brought in a lot of money. And then you have the people who are saying, well, shit, we don't like that particular, it's $635. Even during, listen to this, guys, even during a place where technology stocks are going down, Netflix is going up because of Dave Chappelle. So you have their employees who have stock options, some of them wanting to cause a walkout. But see, if you say, well, hey, why don't you just get another job if you don't want to work there? Then it's, for some people, that's bad, right? Because Kyrie Irving, you can say, hey, bro, you don't want to play in the NBA and you're unvaccinated, well, then just quit playing. But you have these people who are going to schedule a walkout because they can. Now, if he fires them, then the guy's in the wrong, right? Let's think about it. And see, this is what Dave Chappelle was talking about in the first place, I believe. Like, okay, certain people have certain rights. This is what he's hinting at. Over others, that if they disagree with something, they feel that they can do what they want. This is what Dave Chappelle is trying to say. This is why Marlon Wayans and some of the comedians, they were saying, hey, you did a service for us. Like, we're afraid to talk about that and you can't. I think that here's what happens. And in America, we have to be able to say what we have to say and be able to disagree. I believe that for many people, they are so afraid to talk about what's going on because there's no community that's perfect. The black community isn't perfect. They are not beneath criticism. Okay? Certain protected groups, that doesn't mean that you're not above or below reproach. What people are saying, like Dave Chappelle, is that the one community that you can't call out any sort of hypocrisy in is the LGBT community. So, they can kind of move in ways that others cannot. I talked about it in my previous video that people in the LGBT community, they've done a really good job of building their case, of building platforms around their community that support their issues. And he who has the gold makes the rules. But the reality of it is that they can schedule a walkout against what the CEO is saying. If they're fired, then that guy he doesn't like gays or something like that. Whereas if it's anybody else, if they do that and they get fired, then it's like, oh, well, they were scheduling a walkout. They're being disruptive. So I think that what's going to happen eventually, my opinion is, the video will come down. Dave Chappelle will no longer be on Netflix again. And some other network will be afraid to tell him, and he'll probably do some things by himself. I think that he probably, they're going to fold. Because these people are going to continue to try to make this what it is. And eventually, you can only, in my opinion, you can only have that reign for so long before people get tired of that. People are going to get tired with the ability of not being able to just, agree or disagree. And every time we disagree, that person gets canceled. The cancel culture, people are going to have a problem with that as time goes on. And the reality is that we all, in this American country, in United States of America, we need to have the ability to be able to talk civil about things we disagree with without calling names or judging one's religion. And if we can do that, then why would we cancel somebody who just has a disagreement with what's going on in certain communities? But guys, what do you think? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Junk. I really appreciate you for all that you do. Subscribe, hit the bell, check out the first comment at the top. And as you know, the buffoonery remains an all-time high. I'm out.